It is by far the laziest ever effort from Meghan Markle with her brand as ever, as she relaunches some new products, sends no email, gives sort of a cryptic Instagram post, for some inexplicable reason, decorates a decorative box that's like filled with hay, with leaves, and also hides wine in bushes. Yes, oh yes, the as ever mess continues to astound in its absurdity, and we are going to explore this today because, guys, I was doing a live stream, going to be talking about something else related to as ever and the latest, absolutely awfully catastrophically bad bit of as ever dropped. And it just still takes my breath away how horrifically awful this brand is managed. I don't understand. I don't understand, but we are going to explore this and enjoy the misery together. But if you guys haven't been to Royal News Network before, my name is Brittany. I do provide compelling royal commentary, so please hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you back. And I did want to share with you guys something in case you didn't know, which is that we have officially moved what was our Saturday morning live stream to a Friday afternoon live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, there are a couple reasons for this, and I may do a longer kind of explanation somewhere down the line, but it helps with a bit of work-life balance. However, I know some of you guys love the Saturday morning live stream. So what we're going to do is I'm going to unlist our current live stream, and then I'm going to re-upload it Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and set it as a premiere. That way you can interact live with the video as it's going on, so you can enjoy everything that's happening, still interact with people who want to stick around on Saturday morning, and I think just have a fabulous time. We talked about so many things. Prince William's interview with Eugene Levy. We also have Harry's court cases in there. We talk a lot about Luxembourg Ascension Day, which is so cool. Meghan Markle's weird fancy cursive that she insists is calligraphy. And then, of course, the latest as ever debacle. Because, oh my gosh, is this bad? And I don't understand how this could still be happening at this point, except for the fact that Meghan is 150% running as ever. There is no way in the world that any competent business person, marketing manager, social media manager would look at Megan's strategy and goes, oh, that's a winning formula for sure, because it's not. And every time she tries to do something, she completely and utterly misses the mark and is once again, I feel like, teasing things she's never going to sell. And not to mention the fact, still refuses to consume really any of her own products. If you are attempting or want to buy a product from somebody, you need to make sure they actually use it. And Meghan Markle does not. And so, guys, we are going to get into all this madness. And I will say we do have a new wine as well. So I'll talk a little bit about that too, because Meghan Markle also did a boo boo in that as well. And I don't know if she's caught it yet, but I will definitely let her know that, yeah, you messed up, because Meghan has every opportunity in the world, endless resources to make sure she doesn't have silly and I would say foolish blunders popping up all the time in her brand and her marketing and everything. And yet somehow we're still here. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. So let's begin with the madness, because when I saw this on stories, particularly, I was like, are you kidding me right now? So this is funny because it launched sort of right after, around the time I was finishing my live stream. And it says, and we heard you missed us and we're back and we brought a friend. Shop now on asever.com and wine.asever.com. And she's brought back, drum roll please, super excited, apricot spread and orange marmalade. I can almost guarantee you nobody gives a crap about any of these products, really. And then we have the Sauvignon Blanc, which is claims to be from 2024 and is from New Zealand. So what happened to California? Don't know. But what really got me here, and again, this reveals so many of the problems Meghan has with As Ever, is the story. So the girls are back in town. Okay, look at what she's doing right here. She's putting cut flowers and cut leaves into a decorative box for I don't understand. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at what she's doing. Meghan Markle, I know this might be like brain melting information from you, but I don't care how your spread looks in a decorative box with hay. I care about the taste of the products, and so does everybody else on planet Earth. We buy food for the taste. We don't buy it for the aesthetic. That is 101. I mean, think about this, guys. Think of how pointless this is. How is are you as a consumer? Let's say you're just an average Joe consumer. Would you buy her spread based on the fact that it's in a decorative box that you cannot buy? With straw, you cannot buy. With cut flowers that you cannot buy. Like, how is this supposed to help anyone purchase her products? The answer is it doesn't. This is dumb and superfluous. Like so many of the things Megan does with As Ever. It's it's pointless. It's absurd. It's window dressing, needless window dressing. When the best thing she could do is actually make food with her products. I know, groundbreaking idea for perishable food products to actually make food with your products or add your products to food. You mean you don't put them in a decorative box with hay and flowers and like branches and stuff? Perish the thought, man. Oh my goodness. So the girls are back in town. And then we have and they brought a friend. I don't know why we're trying to make this like kitschy and kitty, but look, she's pouring the Sauvignon Blanc, guys, and then quickly takes it out of frame because she's never going to actually drink it. Because that is Meghan Markle. So we're back. Booyah, I guess. And brought a friend. And if you go back to the beginning of this, like, this is actually initially what I saw, and I'm like, "Oh, I betcha she's launched something," but she hasn't given us any warning to this. So, believe it or not, guys, even though she has launched this, at this point in time, I am on the As Ever email list because I have ordered products to test them. If you wanna watch my hilarious reaction videos, I will attempt to link them up above. But when it comes to the As Ever stuff, I'm on the email list. There was no email sent here. So the laziness is continuing and it's just getting worse because if you're going to launch new products, you need to actually let people know you're launching new products. You haven't let anybody know you're launching new products, Meghan Markle. And Instagram is probably not really the best way to go. So has she done anything different on her Instagram? No, not really, because again, Meghan Markle is the laziest and least creative person. I mean, again, she thinks that's clever. She thinks putting greenery is a clever way to do things. And I'm like, who is she giving this to? Because I can't buy that. She's giving that to something like that to her rich, famous friends. What is the point of that? I mean, seriously. It's just absolutely wild. But the craziness actually doesn't end there. So let's go over to the As Ever site. Megan has a new picture. And I don't quite get, again, totally the aesthetic she's going for. And she says a curated collection. Like she's still going with that. I don't understand what she really means by that, to be honest. And I just feel like the imagery never works. It's like overly produced. And so we had the new Sauvignon Blanc, which we will get back to, but we do have the orange marmalade, which has a non-branded top, and the apricot spread, which has a branded top. I'm actually curious right now if that's the case. I may have to satisfy my curiosity, guys, to see if the quality of the products has decreased over time as things haven't gone super well. But of course, she has never restocked the raspberry spread. I don't know why. And these two products are also sold out, which again is inexcusable, which goes to show that she's still trying to utilize the scarcity tactic and it hasn't totally worked. But the wine situation is actually the most critical here because I noticed something when I scrolled down. So, our wine collection, and I don't know what flower this is. Let me see if I can figure out what flower this is. So the flowers Megan's standing by are uh, known as a Mexican sage bush. The other more complicated name I won't name. But let me show you the pictures here because this again is the laziest, worst marketing for a wine I think I've ever seen. So we have the wine just sitting by its lonesome. Doesn't look like anybody's drinking it, and I guess you drink it by yourself on the patio. And then we're pouring. Like this literally looks like a picture Meghan Markle took from her iPhone. And then one of my favorite ones, it's hiding in a bush, guys. Oh my gosh, the Sauvignon Blanc, it's hiding in a bush, y'all. It's gonna come and attack you if you're not careful because it's a Sauvignon Blanc and it's creepy or something. I don't know. Anyways, I just thought this was so funny because I'm like, what is the marketing direction to putting it in a bush? Oh, you can actually see maybe the camera person or whatever there. Maybe. I don't know. But then you have Megan out here blurred in the background, or it could be technically anybody. So she could be holding a glass of anything. Again, what we never see anybody doing with Meghan Markle's wine is actually drinking it. We never see anybody doing that. And then it's sitting by its lonesome. Looks like it's fairly full here. This is from like the little video thing she took. But what's really interesting here, I was looking at this. And what do my eyes see, ladies and gentlemen, but a cork that says 2023? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, guys, that this wine, this Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc, says 2024. So why is a 2023 cap in a 2024 wine? I can't help but ask. How did somebody miss that? Like seriously. So when I had my As Ever wine and I opened it, one of the first things I noticed, especially compared to all the other wines I tested, again, I'll link my wine reaction video if you want to see. What I noticed is that all the corks were branded. The only one that wasn't was Meghan Markle's 2023 rosé, and it had a wine cork just like that said 2023. So again, inquiring minds want to know, why is Meghan Markle selling a 2024 wine with a 2023 cork? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know because one of these two was lying or they pulled a cork out of nowhere, in which case they should have blurred that. But what's going on? Like, how did the woman who is apparently meticulous with details, ladies and gentlemen, somehow miss the glaring discrepancy between the year that the wine claims to be and the year it probably is, if that's the cork from that wine? How did you not notice that? It's really, really crazy. And at this point, guys, let me just double check on my telephone here. I still have no email from As Ever. So last week, I did a video on sort of what I would call the cheapening of As Ever, how her emails are getting shorter, they're getting less descriptive, how she's gone from branded lids to non branded lids. And now we have the laziest and cheapening movement of them all. Not even sending out an email to let your customers know, hey, new product is in stock. She hasn't even sort of teased this new wine at all, really. Some people found the label when they were searching through the California database or whatever. They found the label for the Sauvignon Blanc. So we knew it was coming. But at the same time, it's like, how are you not teasing any of this? And it almost makes me think that Megan is seriously losing interest in this brand. It seems to be that there's no momentum to it at all. In fact, when I looked, nobody was paying attention. And so nobody was even talking about this on X yet. Because obviously Luxembourg is dominating as it should, but nobody's talking about this. And that's because Megan is terrible at marketing and branding. And it's just another example of how she's leading the charge when it comes to this brand. There is no excuse for this level of incompetence when you have the resources that Meghan Markle does. And when it comes to Netflix's role in this, because I know people are like, well, she's got Netflix money. Netflix gave her some seed money. They are not invested in this. When you are invested in a product, you make sure to market that product well. One of the examples I can think of recently is One Piece. They have a live action, there's an anime attached to it, a couple different things. What I found was sort of interesting when I started to think about it is that the show's not due until 2026, which is coming up quickly. I think it'll drop probably in the winter of 2026. I think it'll drop quite early in the year. But what I found interesting is that there was a big reaction to the episodes that the anime has. And so to capitalize off all the talk there, Netflix launched an additional trailer to the series, or maybe it was like a behind the scenes look or something. They dropped something new, attaching it to the buzz that was already being generated by the brand elsewhere. Because you want to build. I'm like seeing more and more things attached to it as they sort of build to season 3 because they have a genuine interest in this being successful, just like Wednesday, just like Stranger Things. They have a vested interest. When Netflix has a vested interest in a brand, they want it to be successful and they let it be successful by managing marketing. Now, I'm not the greatest marketer in the world by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, part of the reason that the live stream is struggling a bit right now is that I haven't been promoting it very well, and that is on me. And I also figured out today is I have some merch, and one of the things I have is a notebook, and you can't really see the notebook based on how I'm posing. And like that's a Brittany thing. I need to fix that. That's my fault. That is 100% my fault. But I'm also just me, and I'm also just figuring this out. Meghan, again, could have a team of people working for her, and she clearly doesn't, or she overrides them all the time, and they don't care enough to actually fight her on anything. They just want her to fail. And I feel like Netflix is a little bit like that. Netflix has no interest or vested belief that this brand will succeed. They have no belief in that. I don't care what Ted Sandros says. I think he's also talking out his butt 9/10 of the time when it comes to Meghan Markle. He knows how much of a failure she is. He's just hoping to ride the coattails, hoping that the royal drama gets them views again, because she certainly is not. And so he's like, yeah, whatever, like, looks good. He doesn't care. Nobody really cares. Because that's the thing. Harry and Meghan have created a scenario for themselves where people don't really care that much about them because they know the only thing that sells is the royal drama they create. And so they stick around for those things. And Meghan is somebody who doesn't give it the old college try. And what I mean by that is that she doesn't work hard enough to keep interest going in her products. She started out, you could say, somewhat strong, but every time a new product launch drops, she fails more spectacularly every time. She's not promoting it well. She's decorating a freaking box. Like, use your products. Don't decorate the box. Use the products. You're not selling the box. You're not selling the hay. You're selling the spread. And the only spread she's touched is the raspberry spread. The only cookies she makes are her thumbprint cookies. And in case you haven't noticed that, she's made her thumbprint cookies like 3 or 4 times publicly. I get the sense the woman can't make anything else. And so why would I invest in a brand that the person running it doesn't seem to have a vested interest in it? And this goes back to something else as well, which is Meghan's fancy cursive. I actually saw a story Meghan posted from As Ever, which was an infinitely better idea than what she is currently selling. Meghan Markle, since she's obsessed with her own handwriting, should sell something like stationery. That would actually go more with her aesthetic than spreads and cookie mixes and those sorts of things. This would go better because she's sort of obsessed with it. And what's interesting too, I forgot to mention this, but once I saw this as well, I'm like, wait, we have another new little promo for Meghan of her brand, and she's making jam. And I say actually jam because that might be actually what she's making, but that's not actually what she's selling. And weirdly, she's trying to tell you in a way that she's selling jam when she's not. She's selling spread and she's not making it herself. This is her making it in her kitchen. Don't show me making a product that you aren't using. What she's showing you, which is crazy, is that she's not using her own products. She's still making them herself. She doesn't use as ever stuff, which is why every time she uses something that could be as ever, you can't see the label because she's not using it. And the fancy cursive, just to get back to that, is illegible. You can't read it. It's terrible. It might be fun. It might work for something like a wedding invitation, but it doesn't work for a brand. And Meghan Markle's just too lazy to make the necessary adjustments to actually make herself successful. Again, as ever, I think would be a great stationery brand. It's a really crappy, perishable brand, wine brand, because she has an infinite number of competitors that you can go to the store and get for a fourth of the price right now. My grocery store is just down the street, 5 minutes. Stationery, that's something usually you have to order. It's usually not in stores in a particular way. And so you have to like search out for it harder. But again, Meghan Markle doesn't know who her audience is because she doesn't know who she is. I mean, she literally thinks there's some imaginary 15-year-old girl out there who desperately really wants her spread and wants to spend her money on her spread and not Taylor Swift's latest album. I can almost guarantee you that no teenager in her right mind pretty much is interested in Meghan's products. And if that's the customer she's making it for, no wonder she's failing. But guys, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know what you think of Meghan Markle's Laziest product launch. I'd love to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to you again very soon. Bye.